Epps and Katt together, and I feel like
Crazy.
Is this their reunion, like since the Friday?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. Like, that was part of the whole ordeal in terms of putting the movie together, right? Like, when putting it together, I was like, what could we do that could be ginormous? What could we do where people like, yo, what just happened? And, you know, whether the movie works or not going forward, to me, you know, I'm in a place in my life where I'm like, man, D, that's really cool, you know, that you were able to be the conduit, you know what I mean, to be able to put two of these guys together. Because so many times, man, like what we're faced with a lot, and no one really wants to speak about it, is like in the black culture, we don't ever get to work together, you know, and we walk around and we have this thing where that's just how it is, you know what I mean? And we have this king of the hill mentality where it can only be one, right? It can only be one Kevin Hart. It can only be one Mike Epps. It can only be one Eddie Murphy. It can, right? And meanwhile, when you look at the landscape of film, when I see Adam Sandler movie, I see everybody, right? All his friends. When I see, you know, Zach Galifianakis in the movie, it's everybody. You know what I mean? And James Franco is his brother, and it's right. It's I can't name all the comedians. You know what I mean? So for me, I said, man, well, why can't we do that? You know what I mean? And me, I think just because I'm an independent thinker that way, and I'm not tied to a studio, and I come from a different background than a lot of people. Putting this movie together was the most special event for me outside of the movie itself, because me being able to go sit down with Mike and tell him I want Katt, and me being able to go sit down with Katt and tell him it's gonna be Mike.
How was that?
Oh, it's crazy. That was crazy. But I felt like if there's anybody in the world, it's gonna be me, right? Because I'm like the most non-ego person there is. So I'm humbled in myself to just be like, yo, y'all the best. Why can't y'all? You know what I mean? And it was really interesting, man, because you're literally talking about, and no one wants to credit this a lot. You're literally talking about, and I'm not saying like the older guys. I'm talking about right now, right? Like if you had to really knock down and say, okay, I'm gonna give me the new millennial kings of comedy. Give me the two, not Chappelle, not Chris Rock. Those are right.
The generation.
Give me this right now. Like what's hot? Like who's the guys at the top? You gotta say Katt. You gotta say Epps. You gotta say Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, man, to be able to grab those two and put them not as cameos, but as leads in the movie was pretty dynamic. So that happened.